Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Pat Gray Unleashed, sponsored by ExpressVPN. Protect your online privacy today at expressvpn.com/unleashed. Welcome. Great to have you with us. Hope you had a great Mother's Day weekend. Then Mother's Day. It's actually a pretty nice day here.
Beautiful weather.
As far as the weather was concerned. Just beautiful, man. But we got this tweet from Sir Nasty. Seriously, though, why are we ignoring all the great fathers out there? Totally neglected this week. Am I right, Bill?
I love that reference.
That's a reference to a caller named Bill who called several years ago during Pat and Stu, I believe it was.
Yeah. I screened the call. Yeah.
When we were talking about Mother's Day because it was the Friday before Mother's Day. And he's like, what about all the great fathers? Well, we'll talk about the fathers on, Father's Day.
Yeah, I thought he was kidding around. I thought he was being sarcastic. He was Judy before there was Judy.
Yes. Yes.
So, he was upset that we weren't talking about dads. And, it probably didn't happen much this weekend either. So, sorry, Bill.
Right.
I hope you managed to power through.
Yeah. I mean, it's a whole time devoted to mothers. Why would you do that? When there's fathers out there.
So good.
Man. All right. Apparently, we got this from Placebo. Funny way that somebody is dealing with the stupid distancing proclamations.
Oh, so I don't know if this is California.
Some images here?
It looks like California where, you're not allowed to do anything. So, oh my gosh, there's a guy and he's fishing on the beach there. What is happening? And then the cops are going to go, they're going to take care of this guy. Look at this. I mean, this scofflaw, we got to take care of this.
Sir?
Sir, come on now.
Sir?
What are you doing here? Okay. Oh, it's a dummy.
That's great.
That is so awesome. That is well done.
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
Kind of fun. That is great. I love that. Good stuff.
It's funny. I mean, the guy's out there all alone. Who would he be hurting? Fish? Is he going to infect fish? Is that what the fear is there?
I mean, I thought we were going to have fish and human coexisting peacefully.
That's what I thought,
but
too.
Apparently not, and that's why the authorities had to step in.
Also got this from Pathead Republic Mike. Number one, so my wife, my children, and I were walking on the walkway near the water, which leads to a small beach.
Alrighty.
Police officer asked us where our masks were.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
he's like, yeah.
To which I replied, since when do we need masks outside? She said that the walkway is too narrow and you have to wear a mask.
I can't.
That walkway right there,
that's
too
a
narrow.
Narrow walkway there.
Yeah,
Ooh.
boy, that's dangerous.
I mean, you can get about 7 Jeffies down there. That's not that narrow.
7 Let's not be ridiculous. Right. I mean, come on, Keith.
5.5.
You'd be lucky to fit Jeffy on that walkway, but it's still pretty wide. Any normal, you could fit 30 normal human beings. But
just ridiculous, man.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a power trip they're on now. I don't know what the deal is. But of course, there was no one near them. We were forced to walk on the sidewalk where no mask is needed. The sidewalk, mind you, was flooded with people.
Okay. Well,
it's in New Jersey is where this happened?
New Jersey, of course. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Forcing people to wear masks outside. Okay, well.
I do not understand that concept at all.
It's ridiculous.
I'm trying to see the other side, but when you're outside and you're forcing that, come on.
Yeah, it's insane.
Stop.
New Pat Gray bingo card this week, which is a pin to the top of the Twitter page, I assume.
Yes, it is.
All right.
Pat Gray Unleashed, or Pat Unleashed on Twitter, pinned to the top.
We start in the upper left-hand corner going across. Your Honor. We haven't done that in a while.
No, now I got to pull that out.
Yeah. Are you just making small talk? Okay. If you're dead, you're dead. I think that's sort of a reference to the COVID-19. Doesn't matter whether you die from COVID or a heart attack.
Right.
The Yoda voice. Any Joe Biden gaffe.
Oh, gosh, that'll take 5 seconds.
Pat brags about winning isolation Olympic Games.
Wait, you won again. You got to get to youtube.com/Pat Gray. Interesting spelling bee we had on Friday.
Yeah, won again. Again. But this doesn't count because, of course, we're going over the card.
Oh, yes.
Right. Keith, here's a fun fact. Then an audio clip. What difference at this point does it make? Of course, Hillary Clinton. A megaphone chant. Okay.
Oh, we got to write one.
Jeffy mentions a show he watched. Liberal weenie voice. Inconceivable from the audio files. Keith attempts math. Then there's that's true. Have that kid. You should have that kid checked out. You should have him checked. Keith mentions the Connells.
The Connells.
Oh, that'll happen any second now.
Sure.
With all the intensity of a billion white hot burning suns, or sometimes it's a trillion or 10 billion.
There was actually some discussion.
There's some variation on that.
People were wondering, does it matter how many white hot burning suns there are mentioned?
I think just a mention of white hot burning suns.
Okay, very good.
There's a hole in the sky, which we haven't done in a while, but I love that. Jeffy, first of all, who am I to cast aspersions? Any Alex Jones clip. That should be pretty easy. If you love it so much, why don't you marry it?
Wow. I think I'm guilty of doing that to you a lot off the air.
I do that all the time.
Yeah, you're the one that ruined me. You know, all the Pat heads talk about how they try to have normal conversations in their daily lives, and they hear your voice in their head.
Right.
I mean, it's been happening to me for over 2 decades now.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. It is kind of sad. Dang it! Oh, darn, dang! Dang it, that kind of thing. Pat struggles with saying shop.theblaze.com.
You almost had trouble with the square.
Obama tooth whistle. That's that thing. The thing right there.
There it is.
All right. Well, that's. I don't want to throw that away.
What are you doing?
I don't know why I threw that away.
Oh, they made so many copies, man.
All right. We don't want to kill any more trees than we have to.
No.
All right. 888-900-3393. Barack Obama, for some reason, is sticking his fat face back into politics and into the world, and I have a hard time taking it because the Flynn case was dropped because there was nothing to it. Obama was out talking about that over the weekend, and somebody recorded it. I don't know if they were supposed to do that, and it was supposed to because this is being called leaked audio from the event. But here's what he had to say about that.
And the fact that there is no precedent that anybody can find for someone who's been charged with perjury. Just getting off scot-free.
This guy.
That's the kind of stuff where you begin to get worried that basic, not just institutional norms, but our basic understanding of rule of law is at risk.
The basic rule of law. Can you believe this guy has the unmitigated gall to mention rule of law?
Some fun stuff came out about him this weekend, too.
About Obama?
As it relates to the Flynn case. I mean, he's the guy orchestrating all of this. Yeah. Going after an incoming president and his staff and setting up and explaining to them how to cover it up.
So much there. I mean, the rule of law thing with, when he didn't care about sanctuary cities. He didn't care about border crossers. He didn't care about illegal aliens. He didn't care about any of that stuff. Rule of law. He doesn't give a rat's anus about the rule of law. And you're right. I mean, he was spying on the incoming administration. Got a whole New York Post article that goes into some pretty great detail about that.
Yeah. And there was pushback this weekend. Ted Cruz, in particular, was vocal in his tweets. But basically, they completely set up Flynn and and calling it perjury where it's not. When you don't recall something, it's not perjury. But anyhow, that's a big mess. Charges were dropped because the FBI realized they were literally making stuff up. So that's where we're at now with that.
Yeah, the FBI's got some real issues, and they've had some real issues for a while now, and it's a real shame because to have that agency discredited the way it has been over the last couple of years that's not good. It's really not good. Ted Cruz tweeted out, "Wow, stunning how politicized Obama, DOJ, and FBI became. Read this carefully. No wonder Obama and Main Street media are trying hard to cover it up." And then he gives a link there to the story. 2 times the FBI agents who interviewed Flynn indicated that Flynn did not exactly deny talking to Kislyak about sanctions, as he was accused by Mueller. Instead, they noted he couldn't remember, wasn't sure, and even conceded it was possible. That doesn't sound like perjury to me. And then the third tweet from Ted Cruz. Here's a direct quote from the draft interview memo. Flynn stated it was possible that he talked to Kislyak on the issue, but if he did not remember doing so. That's not remotely perjury. This was a partisan charade from the outset, politically setting up General Flynn. So there you go.
Yeah.
It's great to have Obama back in politics, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. And, of course, the media had to eat their own words because when people were saying, hey, this thing against Flynn, there's nothing there, they spouted off. And so I love how I think Grabian put together a nice montage of the media, what they said then, and how they used to make fun of us.
And here it is.
President Trump and his top aides have been routinely ignoring the truth and pushing phony conspiracy theories.
The president seems to be saying that this was a case of entrapment, that Michael Flynn was essentially pressured into lying. What is your response?
I think that's hogwash.
There are all kinds of conspiracy theories about how he was entrapped.
The FBI agents didn't do anything wrong here. So I think that's important because there are a lot of sort of conspiracy theories.
They all work together, and, the Fox News people in the White House fuel these sort of rumors.
Do they send these around with fax machines? They come up with these conspiracy theories and they send them around on fax machines.
They should just knock it off and realize that their ridiculous conspiracy theories are going to be knocked down.
Stop with the conspiracy theories.
So I think that loud sound you heard at about 12:30 Eastern was the sound of 10,000 conspiracy theories by the Trump defenders exploding.
The sound you hear is 1,000,000 conspiracy theories exploding.
I could call them the Trumpettes. All over the country, their heads were blown up.
Here's another conspiracy theory that has been blown to bits.
Trump talking points and right-wing media conspiracies demolished.
Poor Michael Flynn.
Oh, man.
He was duped.
It's so embarrassing. When you push all your chips to the middle of the table, you better be damn sure you got a good hand.
Yeah. The FBI broke standard protocol in the way that they came in and ambushed General Flynn.
She knew better. Wrong.
Wow, that's fascinating. The conspiracy theories that the right wing is pushing and faxing out to everybody. Oh, okay. And then they're saying exactly the same thing on millions of different broadcasts. And using the word millions when it doesn't apply. That's fascinating. That's really something.
Yeah, the line was busy when they were trying to fax out their conspiracy theories because Media Matters was using the line to send their own talking points to these media outlets.
Man. Yeah. And they parrot them too. They're all too happy to just spew the left-wing line, as you just saw there. And that came back to bite them just a bit. 888-900-3393. iTarget Pro. If you were hoping to go to the range anytime soon, good luck with that. I mean, maybe here in Texas things are starting to open up, but not in most places. Between social distancing and leftist politicians closing gun stores, threatening the Second Amendment is non-essential, millions of Americans are without a place to safely practice their firearm. Thankfully, there's iTarget Pro. Using their proprietary app and laser bullet, iTarget Pro will allow you to safely practice with your actual firearm in your own home. because instead of the bullet, you use a laser bullet, and the laser just shows you where your shots land on the target. So it's fantastic. It's dry fire training to help you develop muscle memory, help with target reaction speed, sight alignment, trigger function, and lots more. iTarget Pro comes in all major calibers, including .223 and .556, so you can stay sharp with almost any firearm. Right now, get 10% off plus free shipping when you use the offer code PAT. Don't let circumstances dictate whether or not you're going to take time to train. Take back control with iTarget Pro. That's the letter I, then targetpro.com. iTargetPro.com/Pat.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Oh, and this is kind of nice, too. Mexico's president just asked the United States for answers and an apology for the Obama-era gun-running operation, known as Fast and Furious. A little late, but on Friday, Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador called for an investigation into Operation Fast and Furious to prevent it from ever happening again. What seems serious to me is that a violation of our sovereignty was carried out. It's just funny coming from Mexico. It was violated our sovereignty, I don't know how many millions of times. A secret operation, and that Mexicans were killed with these weapons. Yeah, so were Americans. How could this be? A government that invades in this way? They've actually sent military troops across our border multiple times, that flagrantly violates sovereignty, international laws. We have to shine light on this, so an action of this type will never be carried out again. There is still time for the U.S. to apologize. Well, that should come from Barack Obama, not this particular president, because he's had nothing to do with this. But it's amazing that 10 years down the road, they're finally, 11 years, I guess, now they're finally referencing this in Mexico. I would have thought that they would have been pissed about this a long time ago. He also said that his government would send a diplomatic note to Washington asking for information on the gun running scheme. Where is this coming from after all this time? Mexico Foreign Affairs Minister Marcelo Ebrard confirmed the communication, said he was sending a letter to the U.S. regarding Fast and Furious. It was a strategy created to assist the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives to combat Mexican drug cartels. Between 2009 and 2011, the Phoenix Field Division of the ATF would allow and track the illegal sale of 2,000 firearms with roughly $1.5 million. The weapons from Operation Fast and Furious would end up being used to kill hundreds of Mexicans, at least one American. U.S. Border Patrol agent Brian Terry they were also, by the way, used in the Paris terrorist attack. I mean, these guns were showing up all over the place. Killed many, many people. That was a complete abortion from the Obama administration.
In what universe did that ever seem like a good idea?
Man, I don't know. I don't know how it's possible. 888-900-3393 and Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Also, as far as the virus is concerned, Fresno restaurant was just fined $1,000 for opening its doors after receiving a warning from the city.
Yeah.
How dare they?
Thursday they're warned. Friday they're fined. By the weekend, people are showing up to support them. And it's a good place to take your mom for Mother's Day, right? Take her out, and go have a little breakfast at the old waffle shop there in Northwest Fresno.
Mm-hmm.
And police show up, and it gets a little ugly.
And I think we have some video of that, how the day played out for at least one of their patrons.
Mm-hmm. There we go. Okay, police are showing up. I love some of the people in the crowd are like, you got to get in line. That's kind of fun. All right. Now, see, there's stay-at-home orders as well. So not only is it illegal to be open, but it's illegal to even be there.
And again, the cop's not wearing a mask or gloves.
We've been waiting for hours. We've been waiting for hours. You're arresting me for what? You're arresting me for what?
You're arresting people. This is America, 2020.
At a waffle stop. Is the guy trying to hold up the waffle stop?
I don't know.
No, he's standing there hoping to eat at the waffle stop.
And is arrested.
And is being
arrested. I don't know
arrested.
why he was picked out. The mayor is trying to figure this out.
No, it looked like the cop just chose somebody at random.
We're going with you.
Now the cop does have a mask on. Did he have a mask on before?
Yeah.
Oh, he did the whole time?
Yeah, I wasn't sure. There was one that maybe you saw that didn't. But no.
That's really weird.
Yeah, they've been getting some bad PR around the country for not wearing masks and touching people.
And at least he wore a mask when he arrested that woman and man.
Doing a goose. Look at this goose step.
Oh, that's a Nazi salute. He just did that racist did a Nazi salute.
So anyhow,
he was mocking the cops as Nazis because it's kind of weird to arrest a couple just for showing up at a restaurant. That's un-American.
Weird.
Jeez.
Yeah. So anyway, so arrests now being made for going out of your house. Effectively, is what this looks like.
And that was really randomly done. It looks like he just waded into the crowd and decided, okay, you two, I'm going to arrest you. Why? When there's, 20 people in line? Really weird. Very strange stuff. That anybody got arrested, though, is pretty ludicrous.
Yeah, chief of police.
So did they let the couple go?
I assume so, yeah. It just says, as the chief of police, I'm concerned over the manner in which this incident was handled, as it doesn't appear to be consistent with our department's policy concerning demonstrations or the directions I have given officers via a chief's memorandum for handling enforcement of the emergency order.
Okay, well, good. So he wasn't supposed to do that, is what the mayor seems to be saying.
Yeah.
Good.
But
Fresno, California. I mean, come on! Use your noodle just a little bit as law enforcement. Can't you?
They have
please
overreached in many municipalities.
Yeah, and it's really disappointing. It's really disappointing to see this from the police officers.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bad spot there.
From a park in Buffalo, New York.
Oh, yeah.
People were arrested.
Apparently
for protesting the lockdown orders.
Yeah, there's that little section in the First Amendment that was written in invisible ink, apparently.
Yeah, the part about to peaceably assemble.
Yeah.
We have that right.
It finally faded away, and now you can't see it.
So people are peaceably assembling, and they don't realize they can't.
Yeah, and they're asking, what law are we breaking? Listen.
Of any kind have been prohibited by the governor and the mayor.
Okay.
This gathering is unlawful, and you are ordered to disperse. If you fail to disperse immediately, you are subject to arrest.
Okay, that's pathetic.
Yeah, well.
Again, pathetic.
And it's not just walking through playing a recording. We got more video from that park in Buffalo.
Oh, good.
It's time to arrest
This girl
people.
is press, and they're locking her up. That's crazy.
They're just...
She's press. She's just filming the dismantling of America.
Yeah.
That's all she's doing. That's crazy. She's not even a protester. She's press. That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Let her go. This is not...
And she has a mask on.
What about the Constitution, guys? If you're following the law, but you're not following the Constitution. Wake up, guys. This is crazy. You're better than this. Come on.
This is the New York City Police
Here we
Department.
go with this nonsense.
The guy's playing the recording again. So they clear out the park, and then the protesters are like, you know what? We'll just walk around the perimeter of the park. That's what we'll do. That's how we'll protest. We're just walking. I don't know what happened after that, but that's how they got around it. But apparently, in Australia, as the Western world continues to crumble beneath our eyes, you've got it's illegal to walk now, actually. As a mother found out, she's walking around with a poster board around saying that the lockdown should end. And watch her encounter here with Australian police.
I am free to go. I am asking for your name because I do believe you're committing an offence. Do you understand that? I'm not committing a crime. I'm being detained. I understand. Am I being detained? No.
Am I being detained? No. Okay. Bye. Have a good day.
Thank you for. I hope that you're all
See you
here
later.
supporting and caring for us. Maybe you guys can carry a sign too. I'd love to. Okay.
All right. See you now.
I am going to be asking permission to arrest you. Okay.
Now I'm going to arrest you? You just said I wasn't detained. Now I'm going to arrest you? Well, that escalated quickly.
Have a beautiful day.
How did it escalate when she's saying nice things to
I
her?
have no idea. Look at that. Oh, happy little kid there with his mom.
Yeah, I have 3 under 6 and this is what I'm teaching them.
I'm showing them how to protest. You walk around with a sign, kids.
That I've defended my rights.
Okay.
I'm here fighting for not just myself and my kids, but for your children too. That's right.
Yeah, them's fighting words, lady. Sorry.
Thanks, guys. Have a good day. I'm going to keep walking.
Keep walking. And we cut away to her being...
So did they chase her down?
Arrested. Oh, yeah, they did.
Oh, good. Because what a dangerous person.
Why is she under arrest?
Okay.
Why is she under arrest?
That happy kid not so happy right now. Because they're dragging his mom away. Australia.
Oh, jeez.
For walking around with a sign is all, as far as I can tell. I don't know, maybe she stabbed somebody off camera.
Yeah, you don't see the bloody knife, but she's hiding right behind her back there.
Yep.
With one of her hands, she's... Oh, well, okay, maybe not, because
So
there's
here
her
we go.
back.
We are literally ripping children from their mother's arms now in the Western world. Because of a virus, apparently. That's what I'm told.
Good. Good.
Look at these cops.
Good. Now she learned her lesson, didn't she?
Yep, look at that. Literally ripping the kid away from his mom.
Taken to foster care, given to somebody else.
Probably sold, yeah. Sure.
That is really crazy.
Yep.
Okay, that's just an absolute power trip by those cops in Australia.
And it also happened somewhere else in Australia where I don't know what this lady was doing either. I assume it was something similar, but I mean, they push her kids away in a stroller, and who knows when you'll see them again. I don't know. See, meanwhile, their mom is pinned to the ground in the background. If you look in the upper right corner here shortly, I believe, you'll see her pinned to the ground. Yeah, look at that. Look at all these cops laying on top of this lady back here. And what about her babies? Oh, well, we're taking
what was
them.
she doing? Was she protesting?
I think it was something similar. I think she was walking around with a sign. That I'm not positive, but those kids are gone as well. Bye.
Well, you can't walk around with a sign. I mean, you can barely walk around, but you certainly can't walk around with a sign.
Well, and as you saw in New Jersey, we learned earlier, you can't walk without a mask.
And by the way, it is not illegal that, we heard that one guy saying, you're upholding the law, but you're ignoring
the Constitution.
Ignoring the Constitution, something to that effect. No, there is no law that says you can't walk in the park. There's an executive order maybe from a stupid mayor or an out-of-control governor. There might be an executive order. There's no law that says you can't be in a park. Not in the United States of America. In broad daylight? No, there's no law like that. You can peaceably assemble in public. You can. It's in the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. It's not hard to find.
So we're going to cap the life expectancy of the Constitution. What are we? We're going to round up to 246. It was a good run, 246 years ish.
Hasn't been quite that long, but since 1791. So the math on that is.
Oh, that's true. I'm sorry.
Math on that is a little hazy.
But
I think
I think Keith attempted math there.
Keith attempted math.
Yes, 229 it is.
And we're on a roll. We are on a roll.
A fun fact, actually, if you'd like one, George Washington was the 13th president of the United States after the dozen we had under the Articles of Confederation. So not the first president, George Washington. Fun fact, he was actually number 13.
Yeah. Okay. All right. From 1776 on. Yeah. Until 1791.
Well, no, they had a different president every year.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
And so,
right.
Yeah.
So he would have been. Yeah, about the 13th.
Yeah. John Hanson, number 1.
Right, that's right.
That's a fun fact for you on a Monday morning.
That is correct.
Got my highlighter ready now.
All right.
We just accomplished.
I don't know why. I don't know what
just
you've been talking about.
I just like coloring during the show. I just like
all right.
Coloring kids menus
kind of
over
weird.
Here. Yeah, that's what I do.
This is strange. All right, 888-900-3393. Much more Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Welcome to it. 888-900-3393. And at Pat Unleashed on Twitter, where Corey Pa tweets, that was clearly heightism at the waffle stop. I noticed. That's right. That guy was about 8'6". Picked the tallest guy in the crowd and his lovely wife and escorted them out. Heightism.
Heightism.
I mean, I'm going to get this tall guy.
if you're gonna find that restaurant, find them for their dumb name, trying to rip off the Waffle House. Yeah, we're the Waffle.
Stop. From Swank Think, I agree. Fast and Furious was a violation of Mexico's sovereignty. However, there's about 23 million elephants in the room I'd also like to address. Yeah.
That's an award-winning tweet.
Yes, it is. Scotty Sweatman, whenever a police officer asks you where your mask is, I would suggest respectfully replying, "We can't afford masks. Would you kindly provide one for me and my family?" If masks are mandated, they should be provided.
Right.
It's a fantastic point.
And remember, in Michigan, you ask for condoms and the state will mail you some. But will they do that for masks?
I bet not, no. And seriously, not only can you maybe not afford one, but you can't find one.
Yeah, that's seriously. I think, what was it?
So then they tell you, well, if you can't find one, you got to stay home.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, provide me with one. If I have to have a mask to be a citizen in good standing in this country, I'm sorry, you got to provide the mask.
Let's see. I'm going to find out. Let me get back to you on this. But I ordered masks on Amazon quite a while back.
And have you gotten them yet?
Oh no.
How much?
They were due. They're due to come in on June 16th.
Oh my gosh!
I ordered them at least a month ago.
June 16th.
But thankfully, I live in a state where, the Gestapo isn't going to rain down on me if I don't. Well, now it depends on what kind of business you're going into, Costco.
Right. Or, I mean, the poor woman who tried to open up her hair salon or whatever it was.
I'm telling you, man.
Had to do 3 days in jail.
Dallas is East Berlin. Fort Worth is West Berlin. Okay, order placed on April 4th. Expected June 16th. A pack of 50 masks, medical masks. Regular blue.
Mm-hmm. 15?
Nah, I think it was a box of 50.
Oh, 50, okay.
But
and how much you pay for 50 masks?
Oh, it wasn't much. It was like $18.99, yeah.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
I
thought they'd be like $1 a piece or something.
I bet they were a lot cheaper 3 months ago.
Yeah, I bet they were.
Is Amazon allowing for price gouging? What's happening here?
Arrest Jeff Bezos today. Arrest him.
Yeah, set that bond at a lot.
A lot. Yeah, 200 trillion.
That's good. Yeah.
18 spoons of milk tweets. Guys, I love you, but try to refrain from showing Keith marking his bingo card on screen when a square is called.
I was coloring the children's menu from the Waffle Stop. Thank you very much.
I mean, I thought he made that pretty clear.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yeah,
I guess not.
If you missed the first half hour of the program, and let's just say that if your bingo card is empty right now,
it shouldn't be.
You weren't paying attention at all.
The bingo squares were coming fast and furious. Get it?
Hey,
it's like the operation in Mexico.
Too bad you don't have a rim shot sound effect at the ready over there.
Bad,
so the bingo squares were what, Pat?
Fast and furious.
Yeah, they were.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Stop looking at your bingo card, ladies and gentlemen. Laugh Track was last week.
We do that all the time. It's like, I think that's on there.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
That was last week.
That was last week.
Sorry, y'all.
Hey, the UFC, thank you. Thank you to Dana White and the UFC, the fighters, the camera people, everybody responsible for that broadcast. We had a sporting event over the weekend.
All right.
A live, actual, real sporting event. MMA, UFC action. It was awesome. I didn't actually watch it, but I'm really grateful for it.
Oh, I had some questions.
For the low price of $86, or was it $89? I could have watched it.
Yeah.
And I just chose not to because I'm not that interested.
Mm-hmm.
But
you know who didn't invite us over was Hillary Kennedy.
I noticed that.
Thank you.
I noticed that because she paid for it.
Oh, of course.
Her husband did, whatever. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and we had no invite.
No invite.
And that's okay.
How's that feel to have a big event on your TV?
Maybe there's just no roads between my house and hers, or our houses and hers.
Well,
no. I mean, that's one thing about Dallas-Fort Worth. Very few roads.
See, look,
almost
no income
roads at all.
This is the kind of state you get, the society you get when you don't have a state income tax.
Yeah.
Look, there's trade-offs.
Right.
You don't get roads.
We don't have roads.
I'm sorry. I'm just checking out the footage here, and there's no crowd, but who cares?
Yeah, no crowd at all.
Who cares?
But they didn't. I don't think they did care. I mean, you could hear, obviously, and they said this in the article that I read, that the fighters would adjust their tactics based on what the play-by-play and color commentators were saying.
Oh no!
Yeah,
you
because they
gotta
could
move
hear them
those
so
guys.
well.
You got to move them upstairs.
Right? That's what I thought too.
That is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess it went off really well. Went off without a hitch. Nobody died. As far as I know, nobody has COVID-19 from it.
As far as you know.
As far as I know. And there was kind of a surprise. Tony Ferguson and Justin Gaethje fought, and Justin Gaethje upset Tony Ferguson. So he's the interim champion, I guess, right now, and will fight the real champion, Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Yeah.
Yes.
That guy.
That guy.
He's good.
Anyway, what is great about this is they showed it can be done. Okay, we just held a sporting event with no fans. And did the world implode? No, everything was fine. Everything was fine. Are there dead bodies all over the arena? No, there aren't. We seem to escape any kind of catastrophe. Now, in 2 weeks, if everybody in the event has COVID-19,
I don't want to hear about it.
You'll say,
That's the answer.
Maybe we shouldn't have done that. I don't know. If the announcers have it, the fighters have it, the camera people all have it, then you might rethink the whole let's go back to sports thing.
All right. So
okay.
Set a reminder.
I think
for
that's fair. 2
May
weeks, 14
23rd.
days.
Yeah, May 23rd. Just set your phone. Anybody UFC got?
And you come back to me and you say, "Yep, everybody in the Dana White all the way down to the ring announcers, they all have COVID-19." I'll say, "Okay, that's maybe a little too soon."
And if they don't, baseball, NBA,
let's get going.
hockey,
Let's
you
roll.
got 2 weeks from then.
Let's roll.
Yeah, big conference call today for Major League Baseball, actually, along those lines.
I'm really frightened right now because I'm hearing a lot of talk about the football season this year. Oh, geez. The college football season, I think, is really in danger, and I'm really sick of it. I could vomit.
Yeah.
I really could. I could throw up over it.
See, and you have a good team coming down the pike, right?
Yeah, I think
See,
so.
I have maybe
I
a
think so.
mediocre team, and I'm sick of it hearing about this possibly not happening too.
There's a couple of contingency plans that I absolutely hate. One is we only play conference games. Okay.
I mean,
what does that mean for BYU,
exactly.
who's an independent?
That's going to be a problem.
You know what that means for them? They play the other independents, which is Liberty, UMass.
Oh, UMass. I've told you about that.
You don't want to mess with
rivalry.
UMass.
I've told you those
the
two.
UMass BYU, when they get together, you throw out all the records.
Right.
Army and New Mexico State, I think is the other one. So they could play them twice, and then they'd have 8 games. Now, if you could get Notre Dame in there, too, at least you have one decent game during the year, or maybe 2 if you play them twice. But I think everybody thinks Notre Dame will work out something with the ACC, and they won't even be involved in the independent thing.
Ooh.
I mean, it's ugly.
You might have to play UMass twice. That's twice the fun. That bitter rivalry, a couple times in 1 year.
So they could be 8-0 or 10-0, and it wouldn't mean a damn thing. Not a thing.
And that's the life of Boise State back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, well.
So, but the other things I'm hearing is maybe you push back the season a little bit. I wouldn't mind that much if it's just October, and they play October to February. But play all 12 games.
Yeah.
Play all of them.
And they're talking about, if they cut out the non-conference games, how many small schools that depend on these big games, these big payouts against the Power 5 teams,
it's bad,
are going to be hurting.
All of them. Yeah, all of them. So, and then there's another thing where they're talking about waiting till spring, and they just play it concurrent with the basketball season. I don't know. Golly. Then the head of the NCAA said, "Well, there can't be there can't be college football without college," meaning, I guess, that everybody would have to be back at their universities in order for there to be a football season.
Okay, whatever.
It's tragic. It's really.
I mean, nobody's on campus over Christmas break when
True.
you guys are in your bowl games and stuff.
True. You guys,
right?
You can't relate to that anymore. You can't to teams being in bowl games because when was the last time? When was the last time Nebraska was in a bowl game? You guys and your bowl games and your highfalutin bowl games.
Yeah, who needs a bowl game? I hear that's a thing still. I mean, look, kids aren't on campus during your bowl games if you guys still do those. I don't know. Is that still a thing?
They still have a bowl season?
Whatever. Yeah, I can't relate, Nebraska.
It's great.
Goodness.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, they did. Have they canceled CFL football, the Canadian Football League, or are they just thinking about it?
Sure. I don't know. Whatever the story says. What does it say?
It says Randy Ambrosi, the league commissioner, as you know. I don't have to tell you that. I didn't mean to talk down to you.
Thank you.
The most likely scenario is to cancel the season because of it, of the virus.
Yeah.
Commissioner said the league's future is the league's future is very much in jeopardy.
Whoa.
What?
The whole league?
And that teams collectively lost about $20 million last year. What?
Oh, no.
That's Canada, man.
Yeah.
All they can support is hockey and curling. Ours is a big brand, but not a wealthy business. Unlike large U.S.-based leagues, our biggest source of revenue is not TV, it's ticket sales.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, that's tough. That hurts. That's gotta hurt.
Yeah, that's
wow.
There's some hardy crowds too that show up in some nasty, nasty conditions.
I heard somebody once at a Winnipeg game yelled, "Yay!"
Really?
And they got that crazy. They got that nuts at a CFL.
Must have had a
game.
Molson
They
Ice or two
actually
before
said,
the game.
"Yay!" Like 4 people around him heard it,
and they
testified in court that it happened. Yeah,
that's
it's a crazy league.
Crazy
There's
hoser.
no question about it.
So yeah, that's too bad. Sounds like the CFL not only looks like they're going to cancel the season, but maybe cancel the entire league.
Well, that's what it sounded like.
Yeah.
That's scary. I had no idea the CFL was on its last legs. Jeez.
Commissioner Joseph
Ambrosi
Arbuckle.
Bergstein.
Yeah.
Yes.
When he speaks.
Oh, people listen. People pay attention. Yeah. Let me tell you about Patriot Mobile. In addition to their generous support of Mercury One, Patriot Mobile has gone above and beyond to help Americans stay in touch with loved ones during this really tough time by lowering their prices even further. Right now, their U.S.-based team is standing by to design your customized family plan, starting as low as $25 a month. Now, they share your values, as you know. Unlike other big mobile companies, AT&T, Verizon, look for them on the donor list of all the big-name Democrats and big liberal organizations like Planned Parenthood. If you love your money going to them, then, continue with them. Otherwise, switch to Patriot Mobile. You'll get the same nationwide, reliable service. You'll support a company that shares your values and supports our Constitution and puts people before profits. It's easy to switch, too. I know you don't want a lot of hassle, and you won't get that from Patriot Mobile. You can keep your phone, you can get a new one. You can keep your phone number, or you can get a new one. Call Patriot Mobile at 972-PATRIOT. That's 972-PATRIOT. Or patriotmobile.com/Pat. Get your customized family plan today, starting at $25 a month. 972-PATRIOT or patriotmobile.com/Pat.
Pat Gray.
Hey, that's me. Hi, and welcome. Great to have you with us. The Cardinals' Andrew Miller said Major League players want guaranteed safety before they return. I'm sorry, we can't guarantee your safety at any time, any place, anywhere, any season, under any circumstances. There's no such thing as guaranteed safety. You might get hit in the head by a baseball.
No kidding, he's a pitcher?
Come on. You might throw your arm out when you're throwing the ball. I don't know. A bat might crack the ball right back into your face. I can't guarantee your safety. What do you mean?
Wow, okay.
That's weird. Speaking to ESPN's Jesse Rogers, Miller says getting back on the field will be secondary in the players' thought process to keeping themselves, their coaches, the umpires, and all their families healthy. I don't think anything can be done until safety can be guaranteed.
Wow.
And we feel comfortable with it.
He's a registered Democrat, I'm sure.
Got to be, right? We want to put a good product on the field, but that's totally secondary to the health of the players. We are generally younger and healthier, but that doesn't mean our stuff is. That doesn't mean the umpires are going to be in the clear. Okay. It's not hard to get 1 degree of separation away from the players who have kids who may have conditions or other family members that live with them.
That's true.
True, yeah. I'm confident before anything happens, we'll sort through all of those issues. Well, now, I mean, obviously, I don't know if he's just overstating his case, but you obviously can't guarantee everybody's going to be healthy and safe.
And playing is secondary. Okay, and one of the big sticking points on this conference call today is that the owners are apparently going to propose an 82-game schedule, and that the players are going to push back hard on getting paid their full salaries. The umpires have already taken a cut that is pretty close to
half.
Yeah, well, it's, I think about 65% of their salary they would get.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
they got a 35% cut already.
And I don't know, is that going to change if they only play half the games?
Wow.
And are the players going to demand, if we can't guarantee your safety, Andrew Miller, and the season gets completely canceled, are you cool taking $0 for this year?
Yeah, it's a good
question. I mean, if playing is secondary, right?
Right.
So today's a big day for the future of baseball in the year 2020.
Sure is. I mean, you can guarantee that we'll try to do as everything we humanly can, everything that's possible. We'll take every precaution we can, but we can't guarantee you're not going to get the virus. There's just no way.
And maybe you should not pitch anymore. You're 60 feet 6 inches away from a line drive taking you out.
Yeah, that's right. 888-900-3393. And at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Bronco Nagurski Fan Club tweets, so strange that all those civil rights groups that constantly attack our police officers when they're actually doing, when they aren't actually doing anything wrong, are silent during this time. That's interesting. That's interesting. It is. Is there a number of people can call Ivan? Or?
Yeah, it's right there.
It's Cetera Nation. Thanks, Pat and Keith, for softening the blow of another essential Monday morning. Already got me spitting coffee.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, our apologies.
That's a good or bad thing. Swank thing regarding Nebraska football. Swank Think tweets, Keith is looking back at the days of the Big 8 conference fondly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was good times. Those were good times.
Thank you, University of Texas.
Was it the Big 8 or the Big 6 then? Maybe it was the Big 4.
Wow, no.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a while. Jim Ward tweets, although I'm no fan of GM, a recent ad for Chevy said, Chevy, find new roads. So there you go. Drive a Chevy and you guys might find each other's houses.
Oh, wait. I have to drive a Chevy. Pass.
Yeah, so that's probably not going to happen.
Do that one.
Selt Girl tweets, how did they protect their players from the influenza and the common cold? Yeah.
True.
Ashley Ogburn, I hate myself for saying this, but I'm getting a strong feeling that there may not be Major League sports this year.
Shh.
Ugh.
Ashley, stop it.
Perish the thought.
Don't want to hear that.
I think the NFL will play, regardless.
Yeah, me too.
I really believe the NFL will play. I'm really concerned about college football, but I think, the NFL is going to, there's too much on the line for the NFL not to play. Right?
Yeah.
Just too big a business. It's a $10 billion business. They have to play somehow. Whether they push back the season a little bit and just play the schedule longer or whatever the case may be, I think there will be at least that.
Yeah.
And the NBA, they're going to play in the fall.
Mm-hmm. Are they going to finish this season, you think?
I don't know. I don't know about that.
I like the NHL's plan they're throwing around, with the 24-team tournament. Just kind of.
I'd love it if they'd stop throwing it and just do it.
Start the playoffs now, right?
Yeah,
but you're right.
great.
The NFL is definitely.
They're going to do it.
They're going to play because they've got
have to.
They've got to save up money for future CTE lawsuits, and they can't be letting that kitty go dry.
Isn't that the truth? Poor guys. Yeah. 888-900-3393, which is why you have to provide a pillow for the quarterback when you sack him.
Right.
If you tackle a quarterback, you must lay the pillow down underneath his helmet before it hits the ground. So it doesn't hit the ground, it hits the pillow instead.
Right.
Then a mattress for the rest of his body. Then you make sure that you fall somewhere else.
And no burping the quarterback
No.
None of these burps. Like, if you're going to burp the quarterback, you got to hold him like a baby over your shoulder and kind of tap him on the back.
Yes,
like
if you
that.
give him a loving hug.
Yeah, none of this burping. It's more of the, they're there, Aaron.
You can't, and keep in mind, you can't hit him high, and you can't hit him low.
Can you hit him in the middle?
Gently. You can gently hit him in the
That's where
middle.
you can hit him. Gently in the middle, onto a pillow.
In the middle, onto a pillow. And a mattress. A mattress. Like, preferably a Casper mattress.
You know, the things that when we had football that we would get upset about, now we're like, I don't care what the rules are. I don't care if it's two-hand touch. Let's go.
I don't care if you're doing Australian rules. Let's just do it. Okay? Let's just get
I'll
back
brush
to play.
up on the rules and let's just do something, please.
No kidding. All right. 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Back to the hypocrisy of our favorite people, the Democrats. Gosh, they're just so consistent. That's the wonderful thing about them. They're just the most consistent people in the world. When they say, hey, a woman must be believed, when she makes an accusation against a man, there is no reason for you not to believe her. You must believe her. Well, until one of their people is accused of sexual harassment, then that's a harlot. Who is that tramp to be saying that about this guy, this wonderful human being, this man of virtue, this paragon of virtue? How dare she? Ha! Little trollop. Who do you think you are? That happened so long ago. It's just unbelievable. So AOC last week was saying, hey, Tara Reid, who is the accuser of Joe Biden, she didn't say not to vote for him, so I'm going to. And well, guess what? Now she's said it. So that's kind of interesting. Here's some of what she had to say with Megyn Kelly.
Let's talk about what he said, because he went on TV last Friday and said, first of all, it never happened. Period, end of report. This did not happen. He did say that in his view, accusers should start off with the presumption that they're telling the truth. Do you think he's afforded you that presumption?
No. I mean, it's been stunning, actually, how the some of his surrogates with the blue checks, that are his surrogates, have been saying really horrible things about me and to me on social media. He hasn't himself, but there's a measure of hypocrisy with the campaign saying it's safe. It's not been safe. All my social media has been hacked. All my personal information has been dragged through. Every person that maybe has a gripe against me, an ex-boyfriend or an ex-landlord or whatever it is, has been able to have a platform rather than me. Talking about things that have nothing to do with 1993, like even the whole thing with being called a Russian agent, that in particular, that incites people. People actually, I got a death threat from that because they thought I was being a traitor to America. And I mean, these are serious things. And his campaign is taking this position that they want all women to be able to speak safely. I have not experienced that.
If he's watching this, what do you want to say to him?
I want to say, you and I were there, Joe Biden. Please step forward and be held accountable. You should not be running on character for the President of the United States.
You want him to withdraw?
I wish he would. But he won't, but I wish he would. That's how I feel emotionally.
Do you want an apology?
I think it's a little late.
Yeah, I think so too. But still, there it is. She doesn't think he should be running, so that must mean she doesn't want you voting for him.
No, a Democrat would say, no, that means she wants you to write him in if he's not on the ballot. That's all that means.
Yeah. They get around this stuff whatever way they possibly can. Such hypocrisy. Then we got Senator Feinstein, who's changed her tune. I mean, they all have. During the Kavanaugh hearings and investigation, it was revealed that Feinstein, who was the ranking member of the Judiciary Committee at the time, knew for months about Ford's accusation that Kavanaugh had attacked her 36 years earlier. And the senator said nothing to her GOP counterparts on the committee. Kavanaugh supporters repeatedly noted the 3.5 decades that had passed and were lambasted for it, yet Feinstein persisted. During the Kavanaugh hearing, she tweeted in defense of Ford, "Victims must be able to come forward only when they are ready." Yeah, so if that's 36 years, if it's 360 years, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you're ready now, then go ahead. But when confronted about the Reid allegations, Feinstein had a little different take.
Oh, yeah?
Dismissing Reid, she said, "I don't know this person at all who has made the allegations." Well, did you know Blasey Ford? No. What, were you close personal friends with her? I don't think so. Anyway, she came out of nowhere. Where has she been all these years? Where was Blasey Ford all those years?
Oh.
She wasn't done. After touting Biden's record and calling Reid's attack on him absolutely ridiculous.
Wow.
Feinstein continued to want to know why Reid didn't say something earlier.
Well,
why weren't these questions you had during Kavanaugh?
Right. I thought everybody, they come out when they want to come out.
Right. Why didn't she say something? When he was chairman of the Judiciary Committee or after that. Interestingly, Feinstein's dismissive treatment of Reid doesn't jibe with her criticism of Kavanaugh. In a September 16th, 2018 statement, she said, "For any woman sharing an experience involving sexual assault, particularly when it involves a politically connected man with influence, authority, and power, it's extraordinarily difficult." She added that Ford's extremely serious charges come at a price for the victim, and that the situation should be treated with the seriousness it deserves. And by the way, what Kavanaugh was accused of didn't come even close to what Biden's been accused of here. This is just...
Yeah, do we have the tweet that she sent out a couple years ago during the Kavanaugh hearing? Is that something available? Rob, look at this.
During every step of this process, I've found every single piece of information from Dr. Christine Blasey Ford eminently credible, sincere, and believable. She knew this would have a huge effect on her life, and she was incredibly brave to come forward.
Senator Dianne Feinstein.
Thank you, Dianne. That's wonderful. She feels just a tad differently now. It's amazing. It's incomprehensible, really. It's inconceivable, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
Yeah.
It's definitely inconceivable.
You keep using that word.
Yeah.
I don't think it means what you think it means.
Maybe not. I'm not sure. At this point, anything's possible.
Yeah.
But as for Joe Biden, you can ask him about this, but he doesn't know. He doesn't even know where he is. No. He's got no clue if he's even wearing his pants. So we put together a little montage of Joe over the last few years.
I just spoke at Dartmouth on healthcare at the medical school, or not. I guess I wasn't actually on the campus, but the people from the medical school were at the. I want to be clear.
Okay.
I'm not going nuts. I'm not sure whether it was a medical school or where the hell I spoke, but it was Guatemala, El Salvador, and to go in and say in Honduras and say, look, well, folks, eliminate one tax loophole out of $1.6 trillion worth. $1.4 trillion.
Okay, $1.4 trillion.
Out of $1.4 million. Excuse me, $1.4 trillion.
Keith,
it's hard
is that
to
you?
say it so much. And by the way, it's cost a lot of money. It cost about $740 billion over 10 years.
Trillion.
My long friend, friend, and she's a friend. She's been my friend in and out of public life.
Is she a friend or?
We can do it, and it's going to take billions of dollars to do it, and we can afford to do it. We can't afford not to do it. And I think Secretary, excuse me, I wasn't.
Okay.
Press going to say I'm downgrading by calling him
no.
Senator Booker.
Senator Booker.
The fact is that the bills that the future president here, that the senator is talking about, invaded another country and annexed a significant portion of it called Crimea. He's saying that it was my boss.
Your boss.
It was his fault. And they say, you're going to take my shotgun. I said, I have 3. I now have 5 because my son died, and I have 3 of his.
3 of his.
I have 5 shotguns.
Not 6.
have a mechanism to control drug prices. you know, it's not. We're no longer using chemical-based things. All this thing dealing with cancers and other issues related to the immune system are bio-oriented. And
what? Excuse me?
NATO. The only people who entitled to rewards are stockholders.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is deliberately and completely ignoring the legitimate authority of the Congress, and he's doing what he does with the complicity.
Who does what?
We also know
he did.
We need teachers. My wife is a full-time teacher, taught all during when we were vice president. We choose truth over facts.
Goodness, man.
Wow. He could be your president, America. Yay!
Wow.
It's exciting, isn't it? It's an exciting prospect. So, there you go.
Not going to be the nominee.
Seriously, you still think that?
Still think it. Yeah.
And who is?
I don't know.
Who is then?
See, and I'm quick to say I have no idea how this plays out. I just don't see.
So you think at the convention,
That's
whether
what
it's
I think.
virtual or actual,
Yeah,
somebody else is going to spring up and give them an alternative, and
or does the Tara Reid thing,
sink him?
Do the Democrats go, guys? Stop.
He can't win.
Right. He can't win. He's going to weigh us down. Let's take Tara Reid, take her side, if for nothing else, to get a better nominee. Now's our chance. I don't know.
I mean, it'd have to be, at that point, would have to be Hillary, probably. It'd have to be. What are you going to do? Who else? I guess Michelle Obama, if she would agree to it, but she seems to really be sincere in the fact, thank goodness, that she doesn't want that job. You know, some people just don't want to do it. And she's got a pretty sweet life now. They're, multi-millionaires, 100 millionaires. So why would she want to? She became proud for the first time in her adult life of the country when her husband was nominated. Now she can just bask in all the cash they've made because her husband was president.
Yeah. And you see all these polls, though. I do not understand how these battleground states where Biden is leading, this does not, especially in Michigan, I think he's up like 5 points. And you'd think there would be some kind of pushback on the Democratic mayor up there, or governor up there, with all of her draconian laws, ordinances about keeping people at home.
Yeah.
Crushing that state.
I'll tell you what's interesting about it. She's doing a terrible job in Michigan, and her approval rating has skyrocketed. In New York, Andrew Cuomo has done a terrible job, the worst in America, at keeping people safe, and his approval rating has skyrocketed. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't know how Democrat Governor Tom Wolf is doing in Pennsylvania. Do we have we had a Pat Head who found a nice little shot of his press conference the other day, where look at that. See, that's exactly what he's doing to Pennsylvania by continuing to put it on lockdown as the sign language chick is showing us.
Is that the up yours signal? Is that what that?
Yeah, sure. I'm sure exactly what he's trying to say there.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently he waited until Friday night after all the newscasts. Some Pat Head said that he just waited until everything was done and then extended that lockdown order even further out, like 8 o'clock Friday night. I mean, what a jerk. But
how much further? 2 more weeks?
I forgot what the day is on that. I know everyone in Pennsylvania is screaming at the TV right now. But I think it goes... I don't know. I don't want to misspeak. I think June 6th.
All right, we'll look it up.
Yeah.
All right, let me tell you about Keeps. Now, you can handle this one of 2 ways. You can just ignore your hair loss if you've got that male pattern baldness gene running rampant over your skull. You can ignore that and just let it happen, or you could do something about it. And it's so much cheaper than it used to be because Keeps offers the generic versions of the only 2 FDA-approved hair loss products there are. These are the real thing. And the generic version is going to save you a lot of money. Sit there on the comfort and privacy of your own couch, answer a few questions online, snap a few pictures, and then a doctor evaluates all your information and will recommend the right hair loss treatment for you. Then it'll be shipped discreetly to your door. Keeps. You can keep your hair without leaving your couch. Go to keeps.com/Pat. We're going to start you off with 50% off your order. 50% off at keeps.com/Pat. Thank you for joining us. Love to have you with us. 888-900-3393 and Pat Unleashed on Twitter, where we are all in this toboggan. Tweets. It's no surprise hearing a baseball player wanting guaranteed safety. If they stub their toe, they're on the 15-day disabled list.
Whoa. You can't call it the disabled list anymore. They've changed that.
Oh,
it's
that's
now the
right.
Injured list. Because if you are indeed disabled, you're offended by that term.
That's right. Patrick Henry's ghost tweets, I want to be guaranteed that nothing bad will ever happen to me. Can someone make that happen? Or do I just have to be an adult and realize that bad things happen? It's called life.
Yeah.
Pastor Sam Burton, athletes, tackle them, mutilate them, hurl all manner of blunt objects at them, and they shake it off, but blow a few germs their way, and they run home and hide. Not so tough now, are you? Swank think Democrats learned from Al Franken that they can't apply the same standards to their party as they do Republicans. Yeah, it cost them a little bit there. Of course, they kept the seat. Carl Smith tweets, Barack Obama talking about the rule of law is a bit like Bill Clinton talking about the sanctity of women and Ted Kennedy, the evils of strong drink. And from Equus Limits 10, the Dems will pick Cuomo. I kind of believed Cuomo that he's not running for president. He's not going to run for president. Maybe that's naive of me, but he was pretty strong in that declaration. But speaking of tweets, Tom Brokaw had a couple of interesting tweets over the weekend.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, neat.
He tweeted, Trump complains constantly. Trump complains constantly about how he's being treated. Rarely expresses empathy for victims of virus or economic tsunami. Only offers false premise of triumphant recovery by next year. Okay, so that's tweet one. 4 hours later.
Okay.
Catching up. When the president was interviewed by David Muir, he was obviously affected when asked about corona victims. Credit where it is due.
It's like, did somebody take over his account? I don't know if he was the first one or the second one, but can we go back to his first tweet, please? I don't know if, look at, what is this? P Trump? And then he has this extra space between rarely expresses. He doesn't capitalize only on the second sentence or the H or what. It's very strange. It's almost like David Hogg took over Tom Brokaw's Twitter account for the moment.
Well, the guy is 80. 80.
And he tweets like he's a 14-year-old girl.
Yes, he does.
Mm-hmm.
Does a 14-year-old girl tweet differently than a 14-year-old boy?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, the abbreviations, when you have 280 characters to work with, he had some room to spare there. That's okay, Tom.
It's great though. It's like he didn't look into whether or not Trump is. He's just following what the media is telling him, that Trump is just completely devoid of any sort of sympathy or empathy for people.
What was that other?
And then all of a sudden he sees it coming out of him.
I know. I'm catching up.
Catching up.
In other words, someone put me in my place, and I thought I better address this. But what was that? He has some leftover casino stock for sale. What? That was a weird tweet by Tom Brokaw.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. In Jalalabad tonight, in Louisville, Kentucky, the NBC Nightly News from Louisville, Kentucky tonight. I don't know why we're on Louisville, but I wish we weren't because I can't say the name.
I wonder if he cuts promos. Like when he was the anchor of NBC Nightly News, did he have to ever cut any promos for towns like Louisville?
Like Louisville and Jalalabad.
Have somebody else do that one. I'm not doing that one.
Really weird how an L gets stuck in his throat like that. Ow. Ow. Ow.
Speaking of Kentucky, though, they're letting them go back to churches now. A judge put Governor Beshear in his place.
Every once in a while, there's some good news in this madness, and here's another one. Here's another little ray of hope for us. U.S. District Judge Gregory F. Van Tottenhove has brought a halt to Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear's ban on in-person church services, calling it unconstitutional.
Well, then.
Thank you. So obviously unconstitutional.
Yeah.
2 other courts had ruled in the governor's favor. But the Constitution will endure, read the opinion. Be easy to put it on the shelf in times like this, to be pulled down and dusted off when it's more convenient. That's just so
By the way,
brilliant.
apparently you can't sing, though, in church right now in Kentucky, which I'm good with if that just stays forever.
What? Why would that be?
Who's singing? How you going to mumble through that? I'm not going to raise my voice.
Of course, Friday we had the news that the unemployment rate went from 3.5% to 14.7%. Oof. As Obama would say, at least it wasn't 25 or 30% or 50 or 60 or 100%. Remember when he said I think it had just gone to 9.8 or 10% or whatever. At least it's not 12 or 13 or 15%. Yeah, thanks for that. So,
and I heard a Trump official say, don't be shocked when it hits 20.
Well, I won't be. I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibility for like next month.
Yep, exactly what he said, yeah.
These the end times? I don't know, but let's just think about what's been going on recently. Obviously, the major pandemic, right? There's a plague of locusts in Africa and Asia. You got food shortages, a possible beginning of a famine, maybe. I hope not. And earthquakes, other kinds of natural disasters. There's conflicts, wars going on all over the place. And you look at the moral decay and you think, okay, well, I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's Monday.
And it's Monday.
Mm-hmm. And there's no sports.
No sports.
So, I mean, if
that was too frightening for even to even be prophesied in the book of Revelation.
If this is how it ends, I don't want to be here if there's no sports. So let's wrap it up. In the world, if there's no football.
And obviously, if the pandemic and these other plagues don't kill us, the climate change is going to. You see the snow that happened in the Northeast this last weekend.
Happy Mother's Day, ladies.
In May, it snowed in New York and in the Northeast. And they're expecting, I think it warms back up today, and then they get another cold front Tuesday or Wednesday, something like that. It's a polar vortex, which used to be a Canadian cold front, but now it sounds more climate changey, I think, to call it a polar vortex.
Weather weirding.
Mm-hmm. A polar vortex. Ooh, that sounds frightening. So that's what they have in the Northeast right now. And we should slide down here. That'd be fun. 888-900-3393. EQL10 tweets, well, at least these states have dates. New Jersey Governor Knucklehead Murphy said data determines dates. So we're locked down until TBD, to be decided. Supposed to be another 30 days from May 4th, but who knows? I doubt even Cardinal Joe Tobin knows. No, Tobin knows.
I called up Cardinal Tobin, Cardinal Joe Tobin in Newark.
Yeah.
By what authority did you nullify the Bill of Rights? I called up Cardinal Tobin, Cardinal Joe Tobin in Newark.
So there you go. Now you know. That when New Jersey is violating the Constitution, they got that okay from Cardinal Joe Tobin. There's nothing you can do about it.
I see.
Nothing you can do about it. From David Johnson, sends us this meme of Tom Hanks with a stare on his face from some movie. I don't know. Is that Forrest Gump? Probably, because judging by the haircut.
Yeah.
And just like that, people who hated straws now love plastic gloves.
Uh-huh. Yep, there it is. It's interesting, right? And no more reusable cups. I wonder if that's going to be one of the things that goes away from this virus debacle.
The plastic thing?
Yeah, the whole got to bring in your own mug, your own reusable mug. None of these single-serve things. Remember that fish guy? What's his name? Aquaman was all upset about Chris Pratt.
Momoa, Jason Momoa.
Yeah, what are you doing with water bottles? I don't know. Drinking from them, because that's what you do, jerk. I wonder if we will now go back to that being okay.
Yeah, he was calling out Chris Pratt, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, because he was in some sort of photo shoot, and there was a water bottle or something.
And then we had these photos of Momoa with water bottles all over the place.
I mean, it's like he had gone through a case of them during a press conference,
All these
but he's
people.
calling out Chris Pratt for having one in a shot. Hey, man, what's going on there? Do you love the Earth or not?
And to his everlasting shame, Chris Pratt said, "Oh yeah, dude, yeah,
Sorry.
thanks for the right. You're right.
I mean, my reusable one's off the camera just
dude,
a little bit
man, dude, you're right. You're right. I was unwoke for a minute. I'm sorry, man. I'm woke now, though. Thanks for your tweet. Thanks for calling me out."
What's the fish guy's name? What's that actor's name?
Jason Momoa.
Momoa?
Yeah.
Momoa? Check this out, man. Please don't hurt me, but I
Well, you
use one of these
you
every
saw
day.
that. You saw that it's all a prop.
Plastic cup right here every day.
He takes off those arms every night before.
Oh,
he
that's
goes to bed.
right. Yes, that was a great commercial. Though, let's be
Great
honest.
commercial.
From the Super Bowl.
We just mentioned the Kentucky churches that are going to, because a judge said, look, this is unconstitutional to disallow churches
Thank
to
you.
open. So now they're going to be allowed to open, but you can't sing while you're there. So
See, I think that's a good deal.
just know that.
That's a good deal.
I don't like to sing
Right.
anyway.
That's my
but-
point. I think
yeah.
that's great. So we're going to open the churches. Sorry, I can't sing. I'm don't want to violate the law. I'm not going to be singing.
Mm-hmm. But apparently, I don't know. It pushes too much air out of your face. Is that what it is?
Sure.
The state's rules for reopening include places of worship conducting in-person services should limit attendance to no more than 33% of building occupancy capacity, including clergy and staff employees, while maintaining social distance between household units of at least 6 feet. This means that there must be 6 feet between individuals on a row and individuals between rows, such that a 6-foot radius is maintained around all household units.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow, you're going to have a lot of little kids going to be like running up and down the pew aisles.
It's going to be difficult.
Oh,
It's going to be difficult.
That's fun.
I don't know when we're going to go back to church. It's going to be a while, I think. Places of worship should avoid congregational or choir singing. Avoid choir singing during services, as doing this creates a higher risk of spreading infectious particles. Do people spit as they sing? Is that the problem? I guess so, huh?
I mean, I do.
Houses of worship should consider alternatives to congregational singing, including by playing pre-recorded or live instrumental music during services. So there you go. Also, you can't pray during church.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, no worshiping and no praying.
What-
But
what-
those are the only
how
other
does
two
that-
stipulations.
How does that help
You can
stop
go
the
there
spread of the
and
virus?
you can look.
You can look?
Yeah, you can look at the podium up in the front, and that's all you can do. But don't you dare pray, and don't you worship.
Like does the virus travel
Yes.
through prayer?
Yes.
What if it's
yes.
silent prayer, though? I mean, silent prayer. Oh, wait. I'm talking to the guy who sends games telepathically. So
That's correct.
I guess the virus
so you can
travels
send
that
the
way
virus
too.
telepathically as well.
Okay, noted.
Yeah.
Wow. Boy, that's a dangerous virus there.
Isn't it?
You can think it.
Yes. You
Through
can think
the
it to
room.
people.
Uh-huh.
Did you see this over the weekend? They decided now it does go right through your eyes. For some reason, it enters your body through your eyes.
Oh God. So the goggle guy from a couple months ago that looked like an extra from The Fly or something, movie.
He was onto something.
He was onto something.
Yeah. If the goggles do nothing but remind you that you can't touch your eyes, that's probably a really good thing. So there you go.
So I wonder.
Goggles instead of a mask.
I mean, I wonder if people with glasses are getting it less. Seriously,
We should look into that.
No, I don't want to do that.
No, we should spend like $50 million studying that,
Let's
or
see.
$100 million, maybe $1 billion to study that.
Or what if you wear a contact lens? Like, right? Does that cover? That just covers. That's not the whole thing, right?
No,
My
'cause-
bad.
yeah.
Who wear
It would
glasses?
still get in that way.
Get the virus less. I mean, I'm sure the virus is so smart. I mean, if it can travel in prayers, it could probably go around the actual, limbs.
Of course it can.
Yeah. Let's see. Switching from. Oh no, I'm not reading this one. Oh, this is CNN. Here's the headline. Hang on. Let me see what the complete. Oh, no. Okay, never mind. It said switching. See, the Google search said switching to glasses from contact lens may stop ... And then I click on it. You from touching your face. Kind of the point you
Okay.
were making there.
Yeah.
But I thought we were onto something there, man.
Apparently not.
But it's CNN, so you can't trust it too much.
The final straw has happened for Elon Musk. He says he's moving Tesla's headquarters from California to Texas because he's pissed that they won't let him manufacture cars right now.
Right. They won't let him open up there in Alameda County, huh?
Yeah. So he said, this is the final straw. First of all, I'm moving immediately to Texas.
All right.
And then he filed a lawsuit against Alameda County to try to get them to allow him to start manufacturing cars again.
Okay.
This guy.
Well, that's pretty exciting, huh? He's coming to Texas.
We'll see if that happens.
A California politician tweeted at him, F Elon Musk, in which he responded, message received. So I guess he... Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. Martin, you know how you're always publicly complaining that no one has sent you... Someone did send you, right? A Tesla, right?
Yeah, they sent me a Tesla.
Yeah, you got another one here. Someone else sent... Look at this.
Wait, what?
Martin, your wish has come true. Enjoy your new Tesla S. So there you go. You now are the owner of 2 Tesla vehicles, Martin.
Wow. Well, whoever sent me that, thank you so much.
Yeah, it doesn't even say it. It was
Congratulations. That's great.
Aren't you excited?
I'm very excited.
Take it for a drive later?
I'm going to take that for a drive later on.
Let me take 60 seconds and tell you about Rough Greens from Rough Greens VitaSmart. Dry dog food manufacturers sterilize their food when they make it. They burn everything good out of it. All of the live probiotics and enzymes, the vitamins, the microbacteria, all of it's gone. That's why Rough Greens VitaSmart is so good for your dog. It's a healthy dog food supplement. Not dog food. It's a supplement that puts into your dog's food all of the live nutrients that were cooked out of it in the first place. So just take a scoop of it and mix it in with your dog's food. They love the taste. I think they'll gobble up their food a lot faster than if it's not there. And they don't know this. It's good for them. Don't tell them. Shh. They'll just think it's something delicious that you're giving them on the side. Take the Rough Greens 14-Day Jumpstart Challenge today for just $14.95. You'll see the difference in your dog in 14 days or less. You want to see your dog thrive again? Just go to roughgreens.com/blaze, RUFF greens.com/blaze.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
All right. Chris in Michigan. You're on the Blaze. Hi.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hey, I live in central Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And those polls that they're taking for Michigan saying that our governor, Hitler, has really high polls, they're all being taken down in the Detroit area.
I suppose,
they're not taking them around the outside of Detroit or Flint. So, of course, they're going to show, that they like her. But where I live, nobody likes her. So,
I
that's
believe
how
that.
they're getting those polls.
Yeah, it's amazing how, the major urban centers control all the polls and sadly sometimes the voting and it's a shame because it doesn't reflect the whole state. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Chris. She's a nightmare. She's an absolute nightmare. And she was calling the protesters racists because they were holding Nazi symbols up like the swastika. Well, they were holding that up because she was acting like a Nazi. Not because they don't like black people or Hispanics or Jews or whatever. They were holding that up because it was representing to them the oppression that they're living under right now. Ugh. And then the mainstream media plays right into the hands of all these Democrats because the mainstream media is an extension now of the Democrat Party. They do all of their bidding. They do all of their propaganda. Speaking of Democrat propaganda, have you noticed the assault that Ellen DeGeneres is under now? There was a big article over the weekend that Ellen is not as nice as she wants people to believe. Really? Is anyone?
I was going to say.
Is anyone?
I got news for you.
Former Ellen DeGeneres staffer, who's remaining anonymous, said the stories are all true about how rude she is. Is she always nice? No. Again, is anyone always nice? No. It irritates me that people think she's all sweetness and light and she gets away with it. You know what? You've seen all these negative stories on Ellen DeGeneres in the last few months. Why? because she had the audacity to sit next to George W. Bush at some event. I forget what. What event was that where she was sitting there next to George Bush?
It was a Cowboys game.
And she said, we're friends. Like, I don't have to hate him just because I disagree with most of what he stands for. And, I mean, that was almost verbatim what she said. But now because she broke that rule, she stepped out of line with her lefty friends by being friendly to George W. Bush. Now, and she also said she criticized the lockdown as being, it felt like, she was in jail. And that, you can't have that either. Don't you dare go against this wonderful lockdown. Don't you understand, Ellen? The lockdown is killing this economy, which will also hurt the chances of Donald Trump in November. You're not playing ball with us. So now the criticism has to be leveled at her. And man, they are just leveling the petty criticism.
Wow.
I mean, if you can't find a couple of people who are going to be miffed at something you've done, especially when you're this successful, you're the head of a major show, you're going to hurt people's feelings once in a while. Jeez. This is pathetic. It's pathetic.
So I guess she didn't get any of her leftist capital back last week when on her show she was talking about how you must not love your children unconditionally if you're not cool with them changing what sex they're going to be.
Oh, and I'll bet you that was her trying to get her capital back.
Yes, I guess nobody really saw that.
Yeah,
and so it
apparently
didn't
not.
get the traction she had hoped. Trying to get her liberal points back, her street cred
So it's
back.
not unconditional love. If you don't go ahead and encourage your son to become a daughter, that's supposed to be non-unconditional?
Correct.
That's amazing. Maybe she deserves this criticism. I take it all back. Take that, Ellen.
Yeah. You know what?
You know what?
Forget
you
it.
probably are a really rotten, rude person.
What a jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why can't you be nicer, Ellen? You say be kind at the end of every one of your shows. Why don't you take your own advice?
Let me tell you something else. That
Yeah.
George W. Bush, he was a progressive.
That's right.
So that's why you were hanging out with him. Let's be
Yeah.
honest.
Let's be honest.
Huh.
You're just a bad person, Ellen.
Yep. I think we've
There.
we've figured
Took
this
care
out.
of that.
Yeah.
They're right to be criticizing her every move.
Tamp her down.
All right, and we got plenty more of these white supremacist, racist claims, these bogus claims that are being made all the time. Talked about the Michigan State Capitol, which has gotten all this media attention because of the two out of the thousands of people there. 2 people had swastikas. They were both pointed at Gretchen Whitmer. And one person had a rope, and it was something like, this is what, tyrants, the only thing tyrants understand, or the only thing you can do with them is to give them the rope. It wasn't a racist thing at all. So you've got that. Then we have this other racist attack hoax that Campus Reform has discovered. A female college student is facing felony charges now after reportedly faking hate crimes against herself. California college student Dominguez Pena, 25, reportedly discovered at the bottom of a campus stairwell, claiming she was beaten by a masked man. She reportedly denied any medical assistance at the time, insisting that she wasn't able to trust anyone. I guess even the doctors at the ER, they're all against her. Everybody's against her now. It was one of the many alleged racially charged incidents that she, a campus racial equality activist, alleged took place at the University of Laverne in Laverne, California. She has filed about 10 reports of being the victim of racist attacks and threats while on campus over the past year. Newsweek also reported that Pena even reportedly attempted to set her own vehicle on fire. I think we talked about that attempt. In March, authorities arrested her and charged her with making criminal threats and perjury, both of which are felonies. They also charged her with 7 misdemeanors, including electronic impersonation and making falsified police reports. So she also got charged with a felony count of perjury for reportedly filing a false claim to receive financial benefits from the California Victim Compensation Board. The California Victim Compensation Board is a program that provides assistance up to $70,000 per case in order to help victims with relocation, security, and medical costs. So when you're trying to bilk the state out of tens of thousands of dollars, that's probably not a really good idea. I appreciate you wanting to hear my side of the story, but for now, I'm unable to speak anything about it. Maybe in the future, she wrote in a message to Newsweek. But yet another false claim. She's doing all these racial attacks to herself.
And she said that she was attacked by a masked man. Boy, that really narrows it down in the year 2020. Aren't they all?
Doesn't it?
I mean, I guess I'm not a suspect since I'm still not. By the way, I posted a poll over the weekend. Anybody else having dreams where people are wearing masks? Because I did. Everybody in the dream was wearing a mask but me. I'm in the minority. Only 96%. 96% said no masks in their dreams yet.
Yeah, I don't.
You haven't had that yet?
Mm-mm.
Huh.
No.
Do you dream?
Well, of course I dream.
You have a lot of dreams?
Everyone dreams.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are they crazy? Are they
Yeah,
scary? Are they?
And just usually bizarre.
And you want to share with us?
They usually involve work somehow. I've forgotten how to operate the equipment.
That's what I was going to ask you. Since
I don't
you
know
haven't,
what to say.
Right. And you haven't run a radio station, like a technical aspect of it, in a long time.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, it might be accurate, right? I mean,
It might be.
But you still, I think that must be a radio-specific dream.
It is. I've heard other radio
we all
people
get those. We're just standing at the board like,
Yep. I don't know what to do.
What do I do?
I can't believe I'm this unprepared. I'm usually prepared. Why am I not more prepared?
We're
Why
off
can't
the-
I mean, I don't have a song ready. I had nothing.
The station
I got
is
nothing.
off the air, Pat. It's off the air. Do something.
This is not going to be good. Wow. I can't figure this out.
And do you find yourself standing there, not even touching the board?
Mm-hmm.
You're just kind of looking at it like...
Yep. I think that to radio people is a lot like the naked, you show up naked at school and you think, how did I forget to wear my clothes? How did I forget my pants? That is so weird. I don't usually forget my pants.
Yeah. Martin, you run the board every day. Do you have those dreams too?
I've had some radio dreams where just stuff goes wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ever standing at the board naked without pants on?
No, I haven't had that one
That's
yet.
good to know. I didn't want that image in my mind.
Yeah. That's not a dream. No. That's what you see through the glass every morning.
All right. 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. By the way, we talked about Kim Jong-un last week being back in public, and I forget what event it was, but
it's the opening of like a fertilizer plant, right?
Okay, that's and
that's a big deal, right?
Had some scar on his wrist or whatever. Well, now people are saying, nah, it was a body double, maybe.
Because this is an old video
Right.
of him and a body double together. Apparently a body double. I don't know.
And there they are.
Yeah. And so now people are saying, hey, remember in the past he was hanging out with
Which one's the real fat little lump and which is the fake fat little lump?
No, I don't know, man. I'm just saying now they're saying body double has been employed. So I don't know if it took him weeks to find him, like where he was. And now he showed up at the fertilizer factory.
So maybe this mystery continues. We thought we were onto something. Nah, he's alive. He's fine. It's okay. And now, maybe not.
That's fun.
Yeah, it is kind of fun. It's intriguing.
But at the same time, it's not so fun not knowing who's in charge of the nuclear warheads in North Korea.
Don't worry about that. We'll leave that for another time.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.